I get my information, like everybody these days, from a variety of sources. I still like relaxing watching the news. I listen to the radio. I look at information online. Not as much as I used to tell you the truth. I read a lot. I enjoy reading. The news portals that I would still use and which I recommend to my own children is the BBC. What you find on the BBC is quality, and people learn to use judgment as to what they are. There are some publishing houses that I would buy their books just by reading the spine. I don't even have to open it to check it before I buy it to read on the aeroplane coming back to Greece again. There are some people whom you can trust, but that comes about through judgment. It's the same as when we publish something on the website of our university. That represents and mirrors the standard of our university, so you've got great responsibility. But if you've done it correctly, then you can take pride afterwards as well. I am aware that people spend more time online, the younger generations, than I do. That's my choice. Other people have their other choice. I know where people get their information from. Recently I was interviewed by a website for young people about my archaeological research that I'd never heard of. And the journalist was fantastic, very interesting to speak to. I told him I had never heard of his website. He thought it was very funny. And my children tell me that they read that website. So it was well targeted, even though I'd never heard of it myself. I would use website for getting information for something further. I will not sit and just surf just to waste time. If I have an hour, I will read a book that I want to read. I've learned to become stricter with my time, because time is valuable and I know what I want to do. Recent movies that I have seen. Very good question. I saw earlier in the year the film Dunkirk, which made a very big impression on me, because I was expecting a classic war film, and it wasn't. I won't spoil it, watch it. It's good. It was far more a mixture of personal stories than I expected, and I liked that. But at the end I was surprised, but pleasantly surprised. The other film that I would like to see that I haven't seen yet is The Darkest Hour, about Winston Churchill, because I think the English will be very interested, but also the idea of leadership interests me very much. Which books did I read as a child? Very interesting question, but I've noticed that I've reread some children's books again at a more advanced age. Lord of the Rings. I was into Dungeons and Dragons when I was younger, that people play online. I had little figures I remember playing with. I read a lot. The Dune series of books, science fiction, I think are excellent. And the Amtrak series of books. I've always enjoyed sagas, and maybe 7 volumes of something that I can really get into and lost in. And also the stories of Narnia were fantastic. Harry Potter I like, but I actually prefer Percy Jackson, to tell you the truth. That's my own personal taste, because Percy Jackson is like the magic of Harry Potter mixed with Greek mythology, with a lot of comments that are interesting for parents when you realise what mistakes you have made yourselves or with your own children. I found Percy Jackson very good. It was written by a parent. I find that parents benefit from it as well. I still read a lot of mythology. I love reading mythology. It's connected with my archaeological research, but it's separate but interconnected, because mythology for me shows how people think. And I think the most important thing we need in our lives is to actually take time to think about something and then to interact and to share those ideas.